I thought that the replacement for Miles Sanders was DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is the better running back. I don't care what Kenny Gainwell has done in the past for us. Kenny Gainwell should be a second and third down running back. He should be a change-up to the primary running back. So the primary running back should be DeAndre Swift. And today, DeAndre Swift got 1 carry. Hey, welcome back to The Opinion. I'm the sports guru, DJ Blue. We're going to do the Eagles. Y'all see what hat I got on. Straight up Eagles fan. If you didn't know, yes, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Yes, I'm from Philly. And yes, this is the squad that I followed during the NFL season. So this video is really for Eagles fans. Follow me throughout the season as I give my opinion on the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're not an Eagles fan and you still want to check it out, because I'm going to be giving y'all some good knowledge. Also, I'll be dropping another video where I'll, talk about the rest of the league. But this right here is for my Eagles fans. Today, it was a win. That's what I'm going to say. It was a win in New England. Everybody knows going to Foxborough is not an easy place to win. I feel like the Eagles are up against a few things though. Starting this season, I don't really put a lot of stock in early season games. If you're getting the win. Now, if you go 0-1, if you go 0-2, that's a little dangerous. And definitely if you go 0-3, you're almost killing your season before it gets started. But if you're winning and you don't look that great early on, I don't really put a lot of stock into that, especially a team that's built like the Philadelphia Eagles, very deep roster, very good roster. And so when you see them play a game like they did today, you gotta consider a few things. One of the first things that I'm considering here is that the starters didn't play in the preseason. Nick Sirianni, he did not play his starters. I really don't like when coaches do that, but I'm not the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you do see the starters get on the field, it's their real first game action in week 1. It's not like years ago where you would see your starters and they would get action, 4 preseason games. Now they've cut them to 3 preseason games. With that said, I think the preseason rust, we're definitely dealing with it. And the Super Bowl hangover. Super Bowl hangover is real. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the Super Bowl hangover, this is not a myth. Only 8 teams have reached the Super Bowl the year after they lost it in NFL history. This is what the Eagles is going up against this year. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, they got a great roster. They can just get back. I guess last year the Eagles made it look so easy get on their road to the Super Bowl, get in the Super Bowl. But this is not going to be an easy season, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the league is on the Eagles. Every game that the Eagles will play this year, teams are going to be giving them their best, and that has a lot to do with the Super Bowl hangover. So like I said, only 8 teams have ever reached the Super Bowl the year after they lost it. The NFL has been around for 104 years, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So just remember that. Only 8 teams have reached the Super Bowl the year after they lost it, all right? Now, also considering that, there's only been, the last time an NFC team did that was in 1974, the Minnesota Vikings. They're the last NFC team to reach the Super Bowl after losing the Super Bowl the following year. So the Eagles are really up against it, Philly fans. I want y'all to consider that. I know y'all think that we got a great team. And NFL, you can be the greatest team, but that don't mean that you're going to get to the Super Bowl. That don't mean that you're going to win the Super Bowl. This is going to have to be an uphill climb. So it really doesn't bother me too much that we don't look that great in week 1. In my opinion, that gives us room to get better. That gives us room to grow. We're not coming out here and just saying that we're going to roll over everybody this season. You get what I'm saying? Another thing that I think that stood out to me from what I saw, and so I think it's a lack of, the starters playing in the preseason. But ladies and gentlemen, We have a brand new offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. We have a brand new defensive coordinator with Sean Desai, and I just think I don't know if saying that they were bad really, I don't know if I should use that term yet, because again, the Eagles are up against it. This is a team that coming off of a Super Bowl loss. This is a team that where they haven't played their starters this season in the preseason. So this is the first real game action that they were getting. And you got two new offensive coordinators. And so the playbook today, I didn't too much care for it. It looked very different than last year. So when I say that it looks different than last year, it did. It really did, because, our offensive coordinator is now gone. Our offensive coordinator from last year is gone. Our defensive coordinator from last year is gone. So this team is looking very different. I'm sure Nick Sirianni wants to remain and keep the same philosophy, but there's some things that look different. One of the things that stood out to me today was the primary running back was Kenny Gainwell today. I didn't really care for that. I don't think Kenny Gainwell is an every down back. I don't think that Kenny Gainwell should be your replacement for Miles Sanders. I thought that the replacement for Miles Sanders was DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is the better running back. I don't care what Kenny Gainwell has done in the past for us. Kenny Gainwell should be a second and third down running back. He should be a change-up to the primary running back. So the primary running back should be DeAndre Swift. And today, DeAndre Swift got one carry. Like, where was DeAndre Swift? The first drive of the game, I was just wondering, where was Swift at? I'm seeing Gainwell. I never liked when the Eagles use their small second and third down running backs as their primary running backs. I don't like it. These are change-up players. These players should be used, after a player like DeAndre Swift wears a defense down, then you should go with Kenny Gainwell, and his speed will is what they did in the NFC Championship game last year. Miles Sanders was struggling to run. Jalen Hurts was struggling to run, to get going. And then they came with Kenny Gainwell, and the Niners couldn't stop them. And so he's a great change-up running back. He's not a primary running back. I don't understand why Jalen Hurts had 9 rushes today. He fumbled on one of them at the end. The Eagles really got to watch how they're using Jalen Hurts. You're going to get him literally hurt again like you did in the Bears game last year, when I'm looking at that game and I'm wondering, why are y'all using this man as a running back when you have a whole crew of running backs that can run the ball? Now, I understand that is what makes Jalen Hurts great. I understand that this is how he's played since college. He actually ran more in college. But this is the NFL, and you're gonna keep running him up the gut and all these other runs. That's gonna equate to him getting injured again. He's gonna have a new injury. He took some big hits today. I see him take some big hits today, including that fumble. Now, I would like DeAndre Swift to get more than one carry. Why did we bring him here? Was he injured or something today? Why did he have one carry on the day? I didn't get that. Boston Scott, one carry. What is that about? Another one carry. He should have gotten elevated. He should be getting more touches. Kenny Gainwell, like I said, is a change-up running back. He should not just be carrying a load all by himself. He's not that style of running back. Now, Jalen Hurts. If I was to grade Jalen Hurts today, I probably would grade him probably a C- on the day. The best thing that Jalen Hurts did today, in my opinion, was other than the fumble, he did not turn the ball over. He didn't throw any interceptions. So Jalen Hurts today he threw 22 of 33. It's pretty good for 170 yards and 1 touchdown. And like I said, he didn't turn the ball over. That's what I like. Jalen Hurts put on the game manager hat today. For the most part, his big plays today were plays that got us in the field goal range. And my star player today is Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott is a star player for me today. He did miss an extra point today, but it didn't come back to bite us. But he did kick some big kicks today. I think one of his kicks was over 30. He kicked the kick over 40 and 2 kicks over 50 yards today. His longest was 56 yards. So Jake Elliott was the player of the game today. But again, those kicks were set up by the smart quarterback play of Jalen Hurts. Not turning the ball over, not forcing it when we were 3rd and long. He just made some good plays to get us in field goal range. So that's what I liked about Jalen Hurts today. Again, he was not great. That's cool. He has a lot of room for improvement. He knows that, I'm sure. One thing that I don't like about Jalen Hurts, another thing I didn't like about him today, is I don't think and again, this is why I say in week 1, you don't really know what you're looking at. We know that this Eagles team is a good team. We know that. They reached the Super Bowl last year, so we know their abilities. It's basically the same roster. But we don't know how good the New England Patriots is. Based off of what I saw today from their defense, that could very much be a top 5 defensive unit in the NFL. That's how good that defense looked today. And so I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick is probably the greatest NFL coach of all time. He just used some things that the 49ers used against us in the NFC Championship game last year. He used some things that the Washington Commanders used against us in the regular season game last year. And so Bill Belichick is going to pull out the stops. You didn't think that you were going to go against Belichick today and just roll over Bill Belichick. The fact that you beat Bill Belichick in Foxborough is a great accomplishment. Trust me. But what I don't like about Jalen Hurts is that he's not using the tight end. He didn't use the tight end enough today. Dallas Goedert only got 1 target on the whole day. That's kind of unheard of. And again, this is what I'm saying. Is the Patriots defense that good where they had Goddard smothered and Hurts just didn't want to risk it? But Dallas Goedert didn't have any catches on the day. This is a Pro Bowl tight end, Pro Bowl caliber tight end. He didn't have any targets. He only had 1 target on the day, and he had 0 catches. That's kind of huge. Going to the defensive side of the ball, like I said, we got a new defensive coordinator, Sean Desai. I felt like his first showing today was really poor. The Eagles play in 4 days. They played the Minnesota Vikings at Thursday Night Football. And Sean Desai's got to get it together because what I saw today was pretty disappointing. That back end of the defense was just, Mac Jones just was picking them apart all day. Mac Jones was picking that team apart, picking the Eagles secondary apart. And when you got bad safety play back there, we got at safety Reed Blankenship and Justin Evans. Justin Evans, in my opinion, just had a poor game today. In coverage, when he's forced to play in coverage, he's not a good. He's going to get picked on all season if this is what he does. And so when you got a bad safety back there, what it's going to do is it's going to make guys like Slay. He's going to struggle back there at times. He's going to be himself. Slay made some really big plays today, including the pick 6. But there were a couple plays where you might have looked at it and said, "Oh, Slay got burnt," but it wasn't Slay. That was the safety. That was bad safety play back there. The safety should be back there. That's why he's a safety. He should be back there protecting the DBs. And Reed Blankenship made some good plays today, but he led the team in tackles. I think he had like 9 tackles today, but it just wasn't that middle of the field, back end defense was pretty bad. And they was basically making Mac Jones look like Tom Brady today. Also, defensive ends, now I understand, like I said, you went against probably the greatest head coach of all times. Bill Belichick he knew that this defensive line, he had to neutralize our defensive line. Mac Jones was getting the ball out of his hands really quick. And so guys like Reddick and the rest of the defensive ends, they didn't get any pressure on Mac Jones today. They were invisible. Jalen Carter, a rookie, had a beautiful first game. He really showed what he's going to be. Davis had some good plays that were good. So the interior of the defensive line looked pretty good. But our pass rush was just non-existent today. And, Brandon Graham, he's getting up there in age. And like I said, Reddick he was invisible all day. It's not a good performance for a guy that's been talking about his contract this off season. So, like I said, week 1, we got the win. This is going to be an uphill battle for us because, hey, teams that lose the Super Bowl don't usually make it back. So, hey, getting this win is good. We're going to have some struggles this year in some of these games. I'm telling y'all, just be ready, just be prepared for it. It's not going to be the steamroll that you saw last year. That's why I really wish we would have won that Super Bowl last year, because I felt like we were the better team. But no need to overreact. Let's see how we bounce back on Thursday against the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see if we make some adjustments. Hey, every week I'm gonna give y'all my the opinion player of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. And today I think it came down to either Darius Slay or Jake Elliott. I'm gonna give it player of the week to our field goal kicker, Jake Elliott. He hit some bombs today, and he ultimately won the game for us, scoring 13 points. Darius Slay had a hell of a game too. He did give up a couple plays, but again, I don't blame him. I blame bad safety play. Justin Evans looking pretty bad back there. But Jake Elliott this week. We got a short week. Hey, we got the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football. I'll be dropping another video after that game, and I'll see you all then. Out. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, all right? Until next time.